Hey guys, Todd Falcone here. Welcome to toddfalcone.com. And today, let's chat a little bit about fiscal responsibility or financial responsibility in network marketing. So I did a Facebook Live a couple days ago on this subject. And as most of my videos are, they're inspired by conversations that I have with people or experiences or things that I see. And one thing that I can tell you that I see far too much of, and I think that it starts with you and your just personal decision that I'm going to do things differently, is network marketers. There's so many network marketers who've made all sorts of money, but then they have nothing to show for it. And it's interesting when you go from not making any money or making very little money and being totally financially strapped, and you can't even change the carpets in your house, for example, or your car's got 250,000 miles on it, and you live in a rental, and you've never owned anything, and your TV's from 1982, and you have credit card debt that you've been trying to pay off for 15 years, and now you finally can do it. And being in that position, and now all of a sudden you're making money, and you're moving along, and you're 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a month, or whatever you get to, and it's very, very easy for your lifestyle to continue to accelerate with the check. In other words, I make more, therefore I spend more. And somebody goes out and they get the really nice car, and then they get a second really nice car, and then they go get the boat, and then they get the jewelry, and then they get the clothing collection, and they get more clothes, and they get another car, and they buy another house. And let me tell you something that is fact. And if you're on a run right now, if you're on this like terror and you're going, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is going to last forever. Let me just tell you something. It never lasts forever. It never ever lasts forever. I mean, in the 27 years I've been involved in network marketing, I've seen many runs, like these accelerated runs, and then a level off. Some of them continue and then go up again, but I've seen a lot of bell curves, like just huge run and then gone. And then you're in a position where, because you went and got the $10,000 monthly nut on your mortgage and your 4 cars that you don't even own, that you have $5,000 a month in payments on, and the 2 other vacation houses that you have and wherever you have them, and the $8 grand a month those are costing you, and now your life is here, and then your check goes to here, and now you're in a panic mode, selling this and selling that, or trying to sell this and not even getting anything remotely close to it. My nose itches to the amount of money that it's worth, because you're now in a panic. So there's a great book that I think every human being should read that's going through wealth acquisition, accumulation, and keeping it, and that is The Richest Man in Babylon. Even if you, like right now, if you're in a position where you don't make very much money, and you're like, I can't afford to save, well, then something in your life has to change. Like, no matter where you are, if you can't afford to pay you first, then there's something in your life, even if you're living at a low level and you don't really have a whole lot of stuff, something has to give. And then when the higher you get, something has to give if you're not saving and your earnings are increasing, but yet you're still not saving. So you need to start. In fact, I remember one of my financial guys that I've worked with for 27 or 28 years now. I started saving $50 a month with him years ago, like when I was 22, and I thought, oh my gosh, I can't save $50 a month. He goes, then you need to change something. He even told me that years ago. And so it's funny, because I've been putting into that fund for 27 years, never taken any money out of it, and been paying myself, and that's been accumulating over time. And it's amazing what can happen with $50 a month over 27 years. It's pretty staggering what can happen. But the thing that I see in network marketing that's so interesting, and I get it, like we feel like we have to prove to other people that we're making money by showing the money. I think it's probably a lot wiser for you to be the millionaire next door, the one that has a nice car but not the $300,000 car, that has the nice house but doesn't have the ridiculous house, but you've got the money in the bank. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with having this super expensive car or the house, as long as you've got the money to support it. Like, okay, it's one thing to go buy a Bentley, when you can pay cash for it versus buying a Bentley and you're putting 20 grand down and 3 grand a month or something like that. That's probably not a wise move. So one of the things that we as network marketers should be doing as well is teaching our distributors fiscal responsibility, wise decision making, paying yourself first before you go buy the other stuff. So it's just, and here's why I did the video on Facebook the other day and why I'm doing it now on this post is I've seen, and I know I've got very close personal friends of mine that have made millions of dollars and then they have nothing to show for it, like nothing. They've gone from millions of dollars to having sold all of their stuff and then trying to recover from that. Some have recovered, some have not, but it's just not a fun position to be in, and it can so easily be avoided by, saving for a rainy day. And that's like when we were growing up as kids, we probably heard that, save for a rainy day. Well, it rains everywhere, and it will rain again, and there are seasons, and you have to be prepared for those seasons. And if you're itchy nose Todd this morning, if you are in this position where you have the opportunity to save right now, look at your current situation. Here's the deal: if you're not saving right now, something has to change, no matter what level at. And if you're up here and you're making a bunch of money and you're not saving right now, then there's a huge problem, and it's going to be coming ahead, and you're not going to like it when it happens. And here's the other thing about it: when you're in the middle of making a ton of money, some of you watching this video maybe you're like, oh, whatever, Falcone, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to listen to what you're saying. Fine. I typically find that when you're at the height of something and you think you're unstoppable and things are never going to change and this will always be on this run and it's going to continue forever, this type of message can fall on deaf ears. I've done it before with friends of mine, only to have them come back and say, oh my gosh, brother, I'm so sorry. You were right. All I'm saying to you is here you are spending all this time working and putting all this effort and energy into your business to create freedom for yourself. It starts now, and it starts by paying yourself first. Paying yourself first doesn't mean paying yourself so you can go buy something tomorrow with it. Paying yourself is you're putting this money aside. This is for you. This is for, your survival, your future, so that if something went sideways or went wrong, you have the ability to not go into a panic mode and now have to go try to get a deal with a company, or, you're scattering all over town, or you can't even recover because you just weren't smart about it. So again, fiscal responsibility, pay yourself first. I see too many people. I've done it myself. I feel like I got to show the money, to prove to people that network marketing works. The only person you have to prove it to is yourself. That's it. You know it works. You know you got the check coming in. You don't have to flash some car or boat or thing that you really can't afford yet to make it look bigger than you actually are. It's better to have the safety and security of the money in the bank than putting on a show. So anyhow, I know a longer video, but definitely worth the conversation. Save your money, my friends. We'll see you on another video. Todd Falcone signing off. Thanks for watching.